to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles.
I've never heard all that before. Listen,
if you're listening on audio platforms, you enjoyed that.
Right. We gonna start this thing off a little differently today. I caught wind of a video, and it just the energy. You know what I mean? It goes past this dude supporting me, and it's just the energy that this dude came with is exactly what's needed for this fight. Roll that video right quick.
Oh, my man Anthony, this is for that motherfucker Showtime Shawn Porter, man. He about to go inside that ring and put that motherfucking gorilla pressure on this motherfucking Nebraska ass nigga.
Nah, y'all know me. I don't really
you clenched your fist as you were listening.
I don't really condone the language. However,
hence the beeps.
In certain situations, it's necessary.
Yeah.
When you sent that video to me, like it took me to the fight. And what am I? I'm like, I don't know, 7 weeks from the fight or something like that. So at this point, just so y'all know, like throughout the course of a week, I go to the fight maybe, half the week. I'm, through the course of the week, I'm at the fight. Different moments in the fight, the crowd. I swear to God, I had a dream last night that I was walking out. Like I'm always at the fight. So to get that video was right on time. And then the energy that my man came with was like, when y'all see me on fight night, that's the energy that I'm going to have. And I was like, you know what? Let me show my man Ray, Mainland, some love for sending that video, because I know a lot of times y'all don't feel like y'all want to touch me and y'all want to touch us and y'all want to be close to us and things like that. And I know y'all send videos, y'all send messages, y'all send comments, all this and that. We paying attention. I'm paying attention. Continue to do it. Continue to show your love and your support for me, for the podcast, for these guys. Y'all got something silly to say to one of these, say it, and we gonna put it up. You know what I mean? Because we want to have fun with this. But like I said, man, that thing took me to a whole nother level, and I was like, if my man got this energy for me, which y'all can only imagine what my energy gonna be like on fight night. You know what I mean? So shout out to Mainland Ray. Appreciate you for that video, big dog.
Not a message at all. You just like what the man had to say, but is it at all an indicator that you're not here to play nice?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't know if y'all seen the 2 minute stint. What would you call it? Stint?
Brief cameo.
Yeah, the briefest cameo of ever.
It was like when Stan Lee's in a Marvel movie.
Right.
Just have him in there for a second.
The Stan Lee. Yeah, let's call it the Stan Lee. Myself and Terence made our official announcement.
See you later, bud.
This weekend. And they came with me with one question, right? And then after that question, I could tell by his next question to Bud
that was it.
That was gonna be it. I was like, my jaw dropped a little bit. I was like, what? And I'm like, oh no, I gotta say something else. You know what I mean? And I was like, I haven't seen my dude Bud in forever. So see you later, Bud.
Yeah, and you also jam-packed a lot into your answer of that question, which was necessary based on how short the segment ended up being. It was like, what do you think? And you were just like, this. I was like, keep going. Because
I gotta make it clear.
I was out there doing the stretch. I was like, stretch.
But I gotta make it clear. Like every fighter, you're supposed to go to the ring with the mentality that I'm gonna win, the mentality that I'm gonna upset the crowd, I'm gonna upset the fighter, I'm taking this belt. Everything, you're supposed to have that confidence and you're supposed to have that belief in yourself. And this is what I believe about everybody that Terence has been in the ring with. Those guys haven't gone to the ring with that mindset. And again, I said, I don't disrespect anybody that's been in the ring with Bud. I don't disrespect anything that he's done. Utmost respect for him. But when I do take a look at it, I'm not the guy talking about his resume ain't this, his resume ain't that, da. But when I do take a look at it, I try to find, okay, what's the differences between myself and those other guys? Where's the separation? Mentally, emotionally, I'm 100% going to knock this dude out. No, I'm not playing nice. And I don't think that anybody else has gone to the ring with that mentality to beat him.
Ant mentioned just now that you know how to sell a fight. Terence is of the school of, I don't give two shits about interviews and I show up on fight night to fight the best. But what do you think about that part of the game outside the ring, selling the fight and talking and doing it,
It's a maturation process. I wasn't always like this. I was all the time. Growing up, I was like, especially when I first turned pro, I was like, same mindset as Bud. Like my actions will speak for themselves, but you soon realize that you gotta speak. Otherwise, people won't want to see your actions. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it happened for me. And then, I think being myself and realizing that people appreciated me being myself, like really kind of pushed me to do it even more and more and more. And so now I'm just completely comfortable in my own skin. I had a conversation with Wade on the track a couple of days ago. He said, you have a fantastic quality. He said, but it gets you into trouble. He says, you don't give a shit what other people think about you. He said, that's great. It's a great quality to have. He said, but there are situations where you're going to have to care about what other people are going to say, what other people are going to think, how they're going to feel. Because if not, then you saying whatever to a situation that may require more energy, and the only thing you're thinking is whatever because you feel like you're the only one that's there. You're the only one that matters. He said, but you're gonna have to sometimes figure out when to use that, when to not. So that's kind of how it happened for me. I was like, I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what anybody else does. I'm gonna wear these suits. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna enjoy the beginning and the end. And it's hard to do. You know what? And then again, salute to Bud because I was watching Bud. I've been watching him for so long, and I was like, this is one of the only guys I know that gets in the ring and has fun in the ring. Yeah. There's not too many guys that can get in the ring. Fight. November 20th, I think it's going to be a little different, but he likes to fight. He likes to get in the ring, and he really has enjoyed being in the ring. I was like, man, I got to get like that.
I think you guys both are fighters that enjoy the challenge of you've talked about raising levels. Yeah. I think you both enjoy that. Yeah. I think Bud, he's losing a couple of those rounds to Kelvin. I think he's like, all right, you know what? Having a good time. And then he gets him out there. Who's bringing Bobby Brown to the fight is the question.
Oh, man. Bobby ain't return no messages. So
maybe it was there all
We'll see
along.
what happens. We'll see what happens. He was in my back room before that fight.
I have a question. Interesting question. We have a big heavyweight fight coming up this week, but I want to go back to a previous heavyweight fight. So my guy MVO. Question is, Anthony Joshua talked about his loss. Do you think he would have been more willing to go for it if he didn't know he had an automatic rematch clause?
It's a good question.
It's a very good question. Again, shout out to MVO, Chicken Talk. Veteran.
Wow. My answer is no.
You don't think so? You don't think it played a part?
No. Then my answer is yes.
Okay. It did play a part.
My answer is yes.
It was when I read it, I was like, that's a really good question. I have somehow never thought of that.
Yeah. Fury might have to worry about that this Saturday because I have a feeling if Wilder knocks him out, particularly if it's not competitive, I don't know if Wilder's going to give him a fourth fight. So we'll see.
Let's put it like this. In basketball, there's 30 seconds left and one team is down by 10 points. Some of those players are going to believe that they can still come back and win that game. Other players are
chalked it up.
Let's go on. We got 3 more games in this series. Yeah. So let's just move on to the next night. And I got a feeling that he may have had that mindset of let me get out of here safely. Let me get out of here with all my health. Let me not take any chances and embarrass myself or anything like that. I don't think y'all would believe like how many thoughts we have like through the course of a fight, thoughts within the fight, thoughts outside of the fight, all this and that. It really is amazing. I would, in making that statement, I am wondering what other fighters can have those type of thoughts or do. I'm not saying it's good either way or not, but yeah, some guys
was interesting because I was like, I don't think he went into the fight maybe with that mindset of, I have a rematch. Who cares if I win or lose?
Right.
But I do think there's probably moments where you're like, maybe I lose a decision, but like I probably don't get stopped, and then I'm good for the next fight. So I think it
live to fight another day kind of thing.
But I think that mentality is the reason why he's in the place he's in right now with 2 losses.
And maybe, and I think that makes sense as well. If you're willing to kind of like you said, go. We got more games than you're not. People always Jordan. He would rather die than lose a game. But maybe that mindset of I don't care about the rematch. Let me do this now. But I thought that was an interesting angle to think about.
And if he comes in with the same mindset, I think he loses again. And is that a wrap on his career?
No, because I think he's such a big draw. I think he'll keep rocking.
And he has power.
Yeah.
But then you got Wilder, and then always say, then there's no reason to fight him. You know, the BS about
yeah. But I just
that's the only two people you really want to see after that.
You could rebuild. You know, you could rebuild. I just think he's a guy. You know, he's a puncher, big draw, like you said, still young, still not 30 years old yet. So just being realistic.
I think he is 30.
Is he? Oh, he just turned 30.
Maybe 30,
30 and he loses to Usyk again. He got to rebuild back to square one. But
I mean, I guess it's possible. You know, he loses kind of like, you know, Shawn 3 losses is like competitive losses. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna do it. 3 losses, competitive losses, so it's different. You know, you got people like Adrian Broner when he loses, just like, oh man,
it's how you lose.
Yes,
I don't. Yeah, because it's a fine line between like just justifying a loss.
Yeah. 31, my bad.
You know, but at the same time, there's guys out there that lose split decisions. I've lost, I don't know, a couple of split decisions or whatever. There's guys out there that get mollywopped, and they're like, you never want to see them again. This fight is kind of like you want to see if he can come back.
Yes.
You want to see if he can be better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But after this, you know what I mean? If he doesn't win, then we're really looking at, okay, how did he lose that fight?
And we know what AJ got. We know what he could do. I think that's what we want to see.
And that was kind of even what we talked about before the fight when we were disagreeing on him being tentative or not. I think that's where we differ, where you guys were like, yeah, if he loses a close fight to Ruiz the second time or wins, but it's close. And I was like, I'd rather just win boring the 12 rounds. So I think that's just the difference of, do you want to, you know, risk it all, no risk it, no biscuit, and go for a win? The consensus
is from all the trainers and all the fighters that he has to come and be willing to take one to land one the second time around. So that's what everybody feels like. It's funny because sometimes the fans watching at home are quick to say that, you know, you got to show more heart, show more gumption, get in there.
And then everyone's built like me sitting on the couch.
Right. But this is one of the rare times where it seems like the fighters themselves and the trainers are saying to Joshua, you need to do those things. Yeah. So this is the rare case where everyone's telling him to do it. People that have the credibility and just fans. So we'll see if he does his second time around.
Yeah, we got the big fight this weekend. The biggest fight.
You're right. It is Tuesday. And in their world.
Yeah. I'm able
biggest fight.
Yeah, this is not recorded Tuesday. But
biggest fight.
Yeah, big fight.
1 of 3. This is this is 1
trilogy,
of 3.
Or you're saying this is of the 3 fights?
Yeah, the 3 big ones.
The 3 big boys.
Canelo, Plant, yourself, and Terence in first week.
And also a little double entendre because it's the third. It's the trilogy if you're Wilder.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm driving down the 15. I'm basically driving down Las Vegas Strip. I look up, I see my guy. I almost wrecked. See Shawn on the Las Vegas Strip poster. I said, okay.
Made it, baby.
Yeah, I felt proud of you for a moment.
It was funny seeing you on like when you fought Broner and they have you like on like the card tables. They have like the promos. And I was like, I'll be damn. That's
cool. They had us on
like the slot machine,
hotel room cards. And all that.
Okay.
Right, but this is the first pay-per-view big Vegas fight. I mean, you know, Broner was at the MGM, but this is the first pay-per-view gonna be sold out. The other 2 big ones were, you know, Barclays against Thurman and Barclays against Danny, Staples Center against Errol. So
are they doing this one ESPN Plus
for your fight?
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Hey, get your tickets because they're dang near sold out.
Oh man.
Went on sale yesterday.
It makes sense. All right, y'all. We talking easy money. The winning season is rolling right now at MyBookie.ag. Head to MyBookie.ag right now and enter the winner take all super contest.
In weeks 5 through 8, make 5 picks against the spread. Get them right. Go rise up the standing. Earn points. It's an easy 10 G's. $10,000 grand. $10,000.
But tell them it's only $10 to enter.
$10.
$10 will get you 10,000.
That's 2 5s.
Is that 2 5s?
Yeah, that's 2 5s.
It's a whole bunch of 5s.
That's what it is.
Enter right now. Head to MyBookie.ag. Enter our promo code
PorterWay.
Our promo code
PorterWay.
And you double your money instantly. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Fury Wilder?
Yeah.
Got
I've watched 1. I've watched 2.
A lot, probably. Multiple
did you work
times.
both of those
Not
fights?
a lot. No, I actually just worked number 2. I didn't work 1.
Gotcha.
Not a lot, but enough to see like where.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Before we get to the main event, because there's a lot to talk about with the main event, really damn good undercard.
Yeah.
A lot of knockouts.
Yeah.
A lot of knockouts.
Some people are saying, is this the best undercard of the year possibly?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you got some I'm not sure. Usually the undercard, if you just throw it up on a screen, you're like, okay, he wins. He probably wins. This one, I'm like, there's a couple of them where I'm like,
Can you pull up the undercard?
Hey, Shawn, for your fight, can you possibly pull off? Can we get a full card of PBC versus Top Rank?
Nah, that would be
like NWO.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
All right.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, they're kind of doing that a little bit with this one. So you have. I'm not sure if I don't
turn around. That's right.
No, I don't need to turn around. I know
Okay.
Jared Anderson fights somebody.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to see.
You're wrong. Oh,
He
okay.
fights, he 100% does.
It
Come on,
wasn't there
don't
first.
you
It
test
wasn't there
me.
first.
Don't you test me.
I wasn't sure who he was fighting. Shout out to
this is
Jared
a good
Anderson. That's my guy
card,
right there.
Yeah,
man.
real big baby.
People think he's the best American prospect at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Hands down. So,
Frank going to sleep.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, you think so, Sean?
100%.
And then
He's fluid.
I think it's the next one.
All those other guys we've seen,
Rematch, right?
Ajagba, all those other guys, he's gonna go past.
So
those
this
guys.
next one is a rematch. Kownacki loses his undefeated record
Oh, that is a rematch.
against
Yeah.
Helenius.
That was a good fight.
he was headed towards the title fight.
Yeah,
How did-
right
he was-
there.
yeah.
Were you surprised that he lost? He first off, he really is a babyface.
No
It
defense.
makes no sense.
No defense.
He got knocked out, right?
Yeah.
He has no
Polish
defense.
Chris Ariola.
Terrible defense.
I saw it coming.
Did you? Okay.
Like everything that happened, I
From
saw
that
it coming.
fight?
From
From his previous fight?
A little bit from the previous fights, no defense.
Yeah.
But in that fight specifically, I said, oh shit.
Yeah.
He about to get hit with the right hand, and then it just kind of,
And
kinda
he
trickled down
is
from
a
there.
smaller guy, so he has to be in line of fire. He's not
Yep.
somebody that can fight on the outside like that. So Helenius is a big dude. And his losses, he's got I think a couple losses, but they're to like Dillian White, and so he's like he hasn't lost to some bum.
Yeah.
But
And producer, correct me if I'm wrong. He's in camp with Wilder right now, right?
Helenius, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
man,
yeah. You want to work with somebody that's a good guy to work with. But
yeah.
I think he wins again.
I'll probably have to go with him, Carson.
I think he wins again.
I almost jumped on it, but I don't know.
I'm going with him.
And that's what I'm talking about with the undercard. Usually we're like, oh yeah, he's got it. Unless it's a shocking upset. But this one, I'm like,
Yeah.
If you argued that the Polish babyface assassin was gonna win,
Yeah.
I rock with it too. But
He's
That's
not gonna come to the ring differently. Any different?
I'm not sure how much he, other than being more defensively responsible, I'm not sure how different he can come to the ring.
Right. Which
is tough.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I meant.
No, it's tough. What do you think, Saito?
Should be a good fight.
The Sean's on here, some bum.
Hey,
Look, man.
Is what it is.
It's gonna be a long week. I'm ready to just cover the fights, let them play out as they
This is
may.
a really big fight.
Cover
Hold
them.
on, you shouldn't have came today.
No, I know.
You see him over here saving energy.
He's like, wow, yeah.
I'll be tired as hell on Saturday night.
Yeah, these fights are gonna be good.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be at the Browns game. Like,
I think, and this is a really big fight week, which is fun.
Yeah.
We're back Vegas fight.
I'll give you
week.
some thoughts on Ajagba and Sanchez.
Okay, let's do that. Then.
Yeah.
Why don't you do this
That-
one?
that-
Is
that
it something?
fight-
What's up with this one?
have-
You know
yeah,
somebody?
you have gang
No,
ties?
I just.
What happened? Italian mob?
No,
Yeah, something going on.
One of them is Finnish. and-
One of your
I
cousins,
don't
one
front.
of your
I don't
family?
front for where's the fans.
Shout
I
out
don't
to
front
Lori
for the
Markman.
fans. If I didn't really do my homework and
Oh, okay.
dissect
Oh,
the fight,
okay,
That's
I
fine, then.
respect
Yeah,
it.
you
we
know,
won't
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
I respect
So you know, when I give an opinion on the
Yeah.
fight, I really did some.
Okay,
Because
let's-
I'm front. I come over here and don't do my homework and still be talking.
Say I don't know.
You told, yeah.
Yeah, say I don't know. Don't look at me and say you told me.
No.
I ain't tell him nothing.
So Sanchez is jogging.
All right.
That is gonna be a hell of a
That's
fight.
another fight.
It's a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
Sanchez has the better corner. You know, working with Reynoso and Canelo and them out there. I think he has a better skill set. I think he's a better boxer, but Ajagba is more explosive, better puncher, bigger guy. It's kind of on Ife Ajagba a little bit, this fight. It's how bad does he want it? When he first came from Nigeria, Ajagba came throwing about 80, 90 punches around in the heavyweight division. Then he got hurt.
He got dropped.
He got dropped on that undercard of Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo. And since then, he's been trying to box more. But he's a puncher. He's at his best when he's on the front foot and fighting like that. He does that. Sanchez should be able to counter him at times, so he deserves to be a favorite. But that's just how I feel. You know, he's younger, bigger, more explosive. This fight, a lot of it's going to hinge on Ife Ajagba and
his output.
Yeah, his output.
And you mentioned a lot of output for Ajagba when he came. Sanchez throws a hell of a lot of punches, especially for a heavyweight. He throws a lot of punches. So I think this is not going to be one of those heavyweight fights where we're like, okay, come on. Like,
am I wrong in feeling like Frank Sanchez doesn't have much power?
Yeah, he's not a
big,
more
of a boxer.
In terms of heavyweights.
His last knockdown was the guy on the on one of the undercards in Texas where the guy said he got hit by in the head, but he didn't.
Oh yeah.
Fell a couple times. Yeah, that was his last.
He's got pop.
So you talking about power. Enough. He didn't hit this guy and he knocked him out.
Sanchez get knocked out.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could see it.
Give him a couple.
I can see him walking into something.
I give him maybe 3. I seen my man live catch a body at one of Shawn's undercards.
Again, it was at
Ugas.
Yeah, he fought Amir Mansour.
Man.
Ajagba.
Oh, yeah.
He fought Amir Mansour, who was like...
on his way out.
Oh, yeah. And they just looked so funny together.
Yeah.
It's like this young, strong dude, and then Mansour looked like a dad that was like, I think I could still do this. But that's going to be a really good fight. And I could see it going...
Oh, don't do it.
I could see it going exactly how you guys said. I could see Ajagba catching him and knocking him out because he has serious power. But I think
he has serious upside. It's just
I think
Sanchez
tap into wins. I think Sanchez outboxes.
You know what? One thing I like about Ajagba is he's working on his boxing now instead of like where Wilder's at, where he has to work on it, where he's at the elite level. Mm-hmm. Like work on it and lead up to that level, so he can be already ready once you get there. Because you can't just knock out everybody.
Yeah. What's Ajagba's coach name?
K. Adams, I believe.
Is he with K. Karama?
Coach K. Karama. No. Man, K. Karama, not K. Adams.
Oh, he's with K?
Yeah.
I thought that was my gut.
Yeah, I think he's with K. Coach
he was
Karama.
down in Texas with
Jay Prince and them, or no?
No,
Shout
no.
Jay Prince.
We love Jay Prince.
With the Charlos.
Coach. Ronnie Shields.
He used to be with Ronnie Shields. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yep.
And Ronnie's a great coach. And so when you're talking about him, like working on that stuff along the way, I think Ronnie was the one that really kind of set the foundation, bringing him over here to Nigeria. Not that Ronnie brought him over here, but once he got here, Ronnie's like, hey, let's work on your fundamentals. I've heard Ronnie say that to Ajagba, working on fundamentals. We're working on his jab. We're working on his defense when he was a young fighter. He still is a young fighter, but along the way, relying on the one thing that for a long time D relied on was just a powerful right hand and a long broomstick to set up that right hand.
And a wise man always says adversity makes champions. Ajagba gets dropped in that fight, and I think that's the thing that we've talked about before, where you experience certain things in the ring, and that's a big thing to experience, getting dropped for the first time. And so it's like. And it was a legit punch.
Yeah,
they were firing back and forth, and then obviously he ends up getting them out of there.
I remember his first 7 or 8 fights. I just thought he had potential to really compete at the championship level. And then after that fight where he got dropped, or even I think heading into that fight, he was starting to get a little more lackadaisical in the ring. And then he gets the big knockout last time out. But I'm just curious to see. I think regardless of who wins, he has more upside than Sanchez. He has more potential to compete at that level, with the power and the size. So
Sanchez, he's fun to watch though. He'll throw a lot of punches for heavyweight.
I'm not crazy about Sanchez, but I do agree with you. I got a feeling he's going to outbox.
I have my Cuban boxer bias.
Ajagba.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And I think all of these fights, Jared Anderson especially, I think all of these are ones where you're not going to want to look away.
Yeah.
Like
a white Cuban.
I feel like you look down this list. Any of these could end immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it.
Carson, that will suck. First round knockout.
Yeah, right now.
Oh, it could be the whole card.
They're not gonna walk those guys until a certain time too.
Yeah.
Oh,
so bring a lot of good conversation if you're having fight parties. Hot topics.
Wish we could have. We had some tapes of Jared Anderson and Tyson Fury in sparring.
Yeah,
would have loved to seen that.
Absolutely.
Jared Anderson.
You ain't got none of that?
No, I wish.
Oh, you wasn't there?
No. Oh, okay. Our producer's seen some great sparring before this fight.
Man, what you doing, bro? What you doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
But now you got me off course.
Oh man, go ahead.
You were talking about Jared Anderson.
Yeah, Jared Anderson.
Yeah, no, one thing he's got to look out for early in fights, he's so fluid and relaxed in the ring for a heavyweight. He's not stiff. He can move his head. Early on, though, he's nice and relaxed and he's feeling good. Sometimes those hands take a little while to get back where they're supposed to. So I would be I hope he comes out from jump understanding the opportunity in front of him to leave people buzzing that night. Did you see the Anderson kid open up the show?
Still the show.
And Shushu fights. He finally gets to make his debut. Bruce Carrington.
Oh my God, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
We had him on. He was going to debut on the original fight, Fury.
Bruce Carrington, just a quick reminder, Olympian that wasn't able to make it to the games, making his debut. So
you had me check on him his last fight, I think.
Yep.
I think I was covering the card he was on. You made sure
Did he make his debut on another card?
I can't remember, but I feel like you asked me.
This is his debut.
I thought this was his debut. Unless they decide to just do it.
No, that was another kid from Albany, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, that kid.
Okay. Carson Boy on here too. Berlanga.
J-Rock, the return of J-Rock.
Berlanga. This is all.
Yeah.
This is all.
And I was guessing.
He didn't know the card.
I think
like this deep.
I think the televised pay-per-view was just the heavyweights that we mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah, J-Rock's back.
Berlanga and J-Rock.
Francis
If you got tickets to the fight, get there early.
Tune in for that for sure.
Yeah.
Against TBA.
Francis remember his fight with Robert Easter?
Fight of the year, some would say.
In the so bad it's good category.
And that is a Cuban
Fight
fighter
of the
that
year,
I
some
don't
would
have
say.
that I don't have bias for.
Oh, okay. Now you're being picky.
He's not he's not so much fun.
Now you're being picky.
Francis couldn't get that, huh?
Yeah. No, he's a good fighter. But yeah, Berlanga's back. This is his first fight after losing the streak.
He had a tough one.
Yeah, so we'll see if he starts this. Does he start a new streak potentially?
Bob Arum is hilarious. We got him ringside.
He actually can I
Did you see what you know what I'm getting at?
I don't know if you're talking about he roasted. Is it Gareth Davies?
Yeah.
Does for a press conference, and he was like, "Hey, what time is it there?" And he's like, "Oh, it's evening." And he was like, "Then why the hell are you wearing those sunglasses?" And I was like, "All right, Bob, you won me over there."
Nice.
And he made Porter Crawford happen. So yeah, Porter.
We're asking him about Canelo versus Plant, and Canelo's too much, and we're like, Bob, who's the best guy out there for Canelo? And he's just like Edgar Berlanga, and then he smiles
he brings up a top rank roster.
He smiles at me like, you know that's bullshit.
What a guy!
Wow.
He said in 2 years when he's ready.
I did laugh when I mentioned Eddie Reynoso earlier because he has now requested that fighters specifically say that he's just a boxing coach.
Yeah.
That's
He is
cold.
just training them. Do not associate anything else with him, which is funny. He's just like, no. I don't tell them anything about anything, just boxing.
I knew they were mad at Valdez. That's cold.
Yeah, goal world.
I could tell just the way Canelo was giving him tips after that fight. Great tips. Like that was gold.
Yeah.
Canelo telling him, use your, just touch with the left and cut off the ring and move your head. But I could tell the way he was telling Valdez, he was like mad at him about the heat that it had brought down on their camp. So,
But yeah, main event. It's the big one, the trilogy.
The biggest.
How we feel?
This is I feel like this has the magnitude of Holyfield Tyson 2.
Ooh. Okay.
I feel like even though this is the third, I feel like this has that kind of energy, that type of kind of like crossroads battle.
Yeah.
Obviously for Deontay Wilder, and he just looks ready.
Oh man. Yeah.
He just looks so ready. And I'm curious. The energy's not the same coming from Tyson Fury as it was in the second fight.
I agree.
And that
Both of the energy changed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like they flipped.
Deontay's more focused. Tyson not as on fire.
Yeah.
Not as up for it.
Yeah. And so with that being said, I have no clue what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Perfect.
It scares me.
There's your analysis.
Hey, we'll see you next week.
It kind of scares me
Oh.
about,
No, go ahead. Go
about
ahead.
both of them because I'm like, you're not being yourself, I feel. Just do you, man. If you talk shit, that's what you do. Don't change it and all of a sudden you locked in. Don't all of a sudden, well, I guess Fury's being Fury.
Fury's being Fury, and I believe that D is being D. I think that
At this point, he has nothing to say.
But I think he's got a lot on his shoulders, and he can't get it off until fight night. You know what I mean? So
And he still fires some shots.
Yeah.
Like,
And I hate to
he
say,
hasn't just been like,
you're not gonna win a
terrible
talking
statement by you, man.
a talking war with Tyson Fury.
yeah.
He quick with it. He witty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deontay's not bad himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah. Deontay's quick, and I think he's definitely fired some shots. There was also some stuff this week about that technically the Nevada State Athletic Commission didn't get Tyson Fury's COVID test that happened. So, so who knows with that? But yeah, Deontay, I think he's still been himself, but he is, like Shawn said, he can't do anything until fight night, and I think he is locked and loaded. So it'll be fun.
I can't wait. I mean, I'm just there's this unpredictability with this fight because I don't think Wilder was at his best last time out. I don't know about all the reasons why, whatever. But his legs being there at the night after the second round were gone, and maybe it was a shot that Fury landed. But for what I do think, win or lose, Deontay's going to be better in this fight. And there's so much gut feeling going around right now. You guys aren't alone. There's this feeling that Wilder's coming. It's not really things we can measure, something on tape or looking at evidence from the fight. It's a feeling we have. So, my gut is saying Deontay can do this. My head is going to still go with Fury. I will still take Fury in this fight because maybe you saw the tweet. I scratched my head this morning thinking, has anyone who was as dominated as Deontay was in the second fight in that fashion come back to win a rematch, right? And some good writers mentioned Joshua Ruiz, but Joshua dropped Ruiz in that fight. He had him on the canvas hard. He won the first 2 rounds. That's two-way action. Both men were on the canvas that night. The only fight in heavyweight history I could really think of, like this little blast from the past, is Floyd Patterson's rematch with Ignomario Johansson. And
that one, of course.
Yeah, well, that was for the heavyweight championship of the world, and Johansson dropped Patterson 7 times. Patterson came back and knocked him out.
Oh, there you go.
So
adversity makes champions. That's
7 times. Well, Floyd Patterson had a great quote. He goes, "They say I was knocked down more than any other heavyweight champion in history, but I always say I got up more than any other heavyweight champion."
That's
in
like
history.
the D Wade fall 7, get up 8.
Right, but maybe D Wade was a big Floyd Patterson fan.
It could be,
but so that being said, it's like at the highest level of the game, most times than not, the boxer beats the puncher, right? So with that, won the second fight. I think that Wilder will come back improved. I think Fury might have to fight going backwards a lot more than he did in the second fight. He's going to have to switch it up, do a little bit of what he did the second time and the first time. And when we first broke down this fight, I remember I mentioned Pavlik versus Jermaine Taylor 2. And Jermaine Taylor was this great talent, and he came back in the rematch, and he shored up a lot of his flaws that he had done in his career. Still wasn't quite enough against the guy who got him the first time, but it was a lot closer. That's kind of what I expect in this fight. I think Deontay will impress us. I think Malik is a boxing genius. He hasn't been put to the test as a trainer yet, but I know he's a boxing genius up here. So, yeah, that's what I think. I think it's going to be a really good fight. And I'll take Fury to still win this fight at the end of the day. So.
Having never seen Malik Scott as right, having never seen Malik Scott as a coach, why do you say genius?
I've seen him talk about boxing on his Instagram lives. He'll share footage of Ray Robinson.
He knows his shit.
He knows his shit. He's watched all the greats. The man fought almost 35 times as a professional. He won every fight except for one, against Wilder. He knows boxing. He knows boxing, and he's a details-oriented guy. When he's watching Sugar Ray Robinson from back in the day, he's not just look at that 10-punch combination like someone like me might get. He's looking at how he separated him with his left hand and placed him to the right just a little bit to get him where he wanted. Little things like that. Don't beat me up, Anthony. Don't mind me touching. But he is a great boxer. But Deontay hasn't had any fights to try this stuff out at. It's one thing in the gym. It's one thing in sparring. Valdez, he may be, he has the controversy lately, but he had those tough 3 fights with Reynoso. And then it all came together in time for Burchelt, right? But in order to have that great fight against Burchelt, he had those growing pains. He was allowed to fight lesser competition to work on things. And Deontay hasn't been afforded that luxury. So that, along with the mentality of both fighters, I think Fury's hey, you're a pro. There's no excuses at this level. But I do think he's not quite as up for this fight as before. That's not gonna work as an excuse after the fight if he gets knocked out. But that in combination with Deontay being as focused as he can be, it's just a lot of excitement heading into this fight, you know?
Interesting. I'll never forget my first 2 fights. Neither of those fights went 1 minute. Done. And then my third fight, I was getting on this guy in the first round and put him down twice in the first round. And my dad looked over at me and he said, slow down. I looked at my dad like, what? Made it through that round, and I got back to the corner, and my dad said, listen, we need to get some rounds in. We're gonna work on some things. And my dad could tell by my face that I wasn't having that. My dad said, let's do it now. He said, I'm not gonna be able to ask you to do this in another 10 fights. Yeah. He said, let's do it now. And he got me to pull back a little bit on everything that I was gonna do to work on some things, the growing pains. Now third round, he was like, all right, do what you got to do. Yeah. But he understood that if you don't have anything, if you don't establish that foundation early, then that foundation may never be there for you. So yeah, you got all of us. We turn pro and we're fighting guys with 0-4 records or 2-5 or whatever the case may be. And in these case, that right hand was just too much for everybody. So majority of his fights, he never got a chance to learn anything. Yeah. He never got the type of resistance that forced him to try to think to use anything else. The first fight was his fight against Deverne, and everybody says that he boxed in that fight. Why can't he box now the way he did in that fight? That fight, it was on the fly. He figured out, wow, I'm not gonna knock this dude out. I got to do something else. And then he got right back to the knocking out. And it just, his career has gone the way that it's gone. You're not Ajagba. You don't get those opportunities to work on things in the actual fights. You know what I mean? So great point. Malik Scott sounds to be a great coach. I saw a little bit of them working together. I'm like, looks pretty damn good to me. Mm-hmm. But it's one thing to do it in training. It's another thing to bring it to the fight. The energy's different. The emotion's different, so on and so forth. So I'm really interested to see how this fight plays out. This is what I saw from watching the first 2 fights. Clearly, if you give Deontay Wilder room to think, room to breathe, he will be a surgeon and he will go and knock you out. Tyson Fury has to figure out a way to do both. Be aggressive and assertive, but then pick your spots, because if you're too aggressive and assertive with this dude who feels very violent right now, you're gonna get hurt. And on the other side of that, find ways to create the room and the space that you need to box and do the things that you need to do without taking too many chances. So it's a pick 'em fight, and I love that we can say that about a trilogy.
And look at, a lot of people are looking back to the second fight, rightfully so. It was the last one. But if you look back to the first one, so if we look at that Deontay Wilder, if you add some boxing, because in that fight, without those knockdowns, he loses. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so it's something where...
Never thought it was out of the question that he won, too, by the way. Yeah, people really acted like this was some robbery in the first fight. I didn't think so.
And if you think about it that way, even if Deontay adds some of these boxing abilities and wins around there, and picks up those rounds and can still knock him down...
Right. He wins.
It gives Deontay, because with that, in that first fight, he was working with such a limited margin for error. Mm-hmm. If he didn't knock him down, there wasn't an ability to bank rounds, because he just wasn't, Tyson Fury was just outboxing him for those rounds. Right. And so I think when he adds that boxing ability, I think it gives him, okay, I didn't knock him down, I didn't hurt him, I didn't knock him out, but I won the round because I've added some of these intricacies, like you said, Malik Scott coming up with some ideas as far as the boxing. So
another funny thing is, this might be the first time we're looking forward to a fight that Deontay Wilder's in, and we're wondering if he can win rounds. Yeah, normally you go to a fight thinking that if he doesn't win rounds, it was the Cuban Luis Ortiz.
He stopped trying to win them a long time ago.
He stopped trying to win them a long time ago. Like he fed that line to himself, and even though I appreciate the line, I salute the line. That's not what boxing truly is at its essence. And boxing at its essence is more than power.
I get that, but it's tough.
I know
not to.
I know.
No, and he was losing rounds, but he was setting up his knockout.
Yeah, to his credit. And then it's tough to be like, I really should worry about winning these rounds, but like Okay, fine.
It's like when you get to that top level, it's just like right now it's when he needed all that boxing. He should have got rounds in.
Yeah.
He should have actually tried and gave a little more effort. Because out of the 19 rounds of boxing, he may have won 4. I think Fury got all the rest of the rounds. It was a bunch of, I think, 8 rounds in a couple of those.
I hate math. So I'm rolling with you though.
Yeah. So I
hear what you're saying.
In my heart, I want Wilder to win, man. American. He black.
I mean, if I was a fan and wasn't covering it, USA. So, but
I don't know, man. I wish he would. Malik Scott. I feel Malik Scott is better than his former team.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? JD. No disrespect,
Jay
man.
is still there.
He's still there. It's probably number 2. But I feel like Malik Scott he's been there. He's done it. He can give him much as he can, prepare him for this. I feel like it's a great person to be in your corner. I wish he could get a fight, man.
And even take a look. You got Mark Breland in your corner. It's no secret he's one of the greatest amateur fighters of all time here from the United States. I think he's like a lot of people say he's number 1, but he's easily top 3, which is just crazy. But when it comes to coaching and it comes to delivering what's in here to someone else, the greatest may not be able to do it the way that other people are able to do it. You know what I mean? So
I think that's important to note because people are saying that there's like
a lot of
you have Malik Scott. Who cares? You have Mark Breland. You can speak on that because it's how you receive it.
Yeah,
I could be the smartest guy in the room and I tell you something.
Malik's a much more expressive guy. And Mark Breland's very low, so you gotta squint down to here.
They seem to be very close. Malik and Deontay, I think they've been close for years. So I mean it's just like if we don't mesh, it's not a fault of his or of his.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work. Yeah. And that's not to say that's why he lost these fights or anything like that. But like you get a guy in there now.
Yeah.
You clearly have a chemistry and rapport with.
Yeah.
That also has that boxing ability and that knowledge. So
it's just like raising your kids. One of your kids probably can't deal with the yelling, or the other one, it needs the yelling.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. Like maybe this is a perfect, like you guys say, this is a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
This may be the thing to fix it. And I would love to see these guys go on a 5-year run, just clipping people, boxing the hell out of them and clipping them.
What if Deontay?
Don't feed me that, man.
When we talked about it last week, what if Deontay?
I got hype like, what?
What if he just goes in there and just outboxes Tyson Fury for 12 rounds?
That'd be shocking. I don't think so.
Hey, Malik Scott.
Is that the most surprising result?
Yeah, the most surprising result would be Deontay Wilder by decision.
Malik Scott is Freddie Roach.
Yeah, Malik Scott, trainer. If he wins, he's trainer of the year. Based on if he outboxes him for 12 rounds.
Don't speak Kenny Porter like that.
Yeah, well, he'll be trainer of the year until Shawn wins.
Yeah.
Listen, somebody asked me. They said, if Deontay Wilder is able to pull off this victory, how much of that do you contribute to Malik Scott? I'm like,
a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
What did we do when Tyson Fury got the knockout? We said Sugar Hill this, Sugar Hill that.
Oh damn, forgot about Sugar Hill.
I said we got to do the same thing for Malik Scott. I said, guess what?
He surpassed them for a few months there.
Yeah, if Deontay gets this win, how he gets this win, we will clearly be able to see what effect Malik Scott had in determining the outcome of the fight.
Well, a question I have too for this fight is, with Fury putting on all the, I really can't wait to see the weigh-in because so far he hasn't looked as in good a shape as he was heading into that second fight. He just hasn't.
Wilder, go to the body, baby. Yeah. Go to the body.
They are. It's just we'll see if he could be effective doing it. Yeah. But Fury in that first round, he did take a right. I mean, his head rolled with it a little bit, but he did eat a nice hammer of a right hand from Wilder, and he ate it no problem.
Yep.
I'm wondering, how was Deontay, again, his legs, although it was the first round, but maybe Fury with all this weight on him, it's going to take more than 1 or 2.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't. He'd been dropped by Steve Cunningham, but these days he took 1 or 2 of those right hands pretty easily last time around. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, I guess, to see because Fury obviously, he uses that now as kind of a crutch. In that first fight, I was just coming off of blah, 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 I did all this. And I think physically, I wonder if he's closer to that than he was in the second fight, like you mentioned.
Right.
If he physically is closer to haven't really done much in a while, kind of COVID body where we've all put on some weight.
Also,
Look,
I heard it was
mate.
lies about giving up his whole purse.
Look, seriously,
I'll
mate.
never forget that. Remember that. I never believed that anyway. People tell me.
Look, seriously, mate. Tyson Fury, he's one of the best in the world, mate. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
I don't know if you were doing Tony Bellew there. I don't know who that was.
That is kind of Tony.
It was a little
Shawn Porter.
It was a little Bellew-esque.
Look, he's one of the best in the world.
I need
mate.
you to get Eubank Senior. That's where you'll win me over. You get Eubank Senior in your arsenal. I'll be impressed.
Well, you know, mate, it's on his best day. Deontay Wilder's hell of a puncher, isn't he?
You got Floyd? You got Floyd?
Huh?
You got Floyd Mayweather?
We're not here to talk about now. That's Floyd.
It was limited, but it was there. Yeah. No, you get Eubank
Like
Senior.
I had to hear it twice in my head. I was like, oh, yeah.
You get Eubank Senior in there, and I'll be impressed.
If you're a reporter, that's what you hear from Floyd more than anything else.
What? Hell of a fighter. Yeah. Hell of a fighter.
That's what you hear.
If you walked up to Floyd right now and said, what do you think about Carson Merck? He'll be like, oh, he's a hell of a fighter.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Strong.
I bet
Strong.
not. He's just the fat white guy that
He's a good
refuses to
fighter.
get in the boxing ring.
Hell of a podcast.
Yeah, hell of a podcast. But yeah, it's gonna be no matter what happens. Sunday is gonna be interesting because we're gonna be sitting there looking
Saturday.
back. No, I'm saying Sunday looking back on the fight.
The fallout's
Saturday.
going to be crazy.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
fallout?
yeah. Just because if Wilder blows him out, it's gonna be like, hey, told you guys he cheated and beat me in the second fight. Look what happened in the third
That's
one.
cold.
Like
That's cold.
But it's simple though. If Wilder smokes him, he's gonna be like, I told you.
Yeah.
I gave you these things that happened.
If he clips him in the first,
And that
if he clips him in the first, he'll never get quiet again.
yeah. And if Fury beats him, I think I'm looking at this in a optimistic way. I don't take Deontay overall as a sore loser. I don't take that kind of vibe from him. So I think if he goes into this and loses a decision, whatever happens,
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna say, nah, well,
I didn't like all the excuses. I'm not gonna lie. I was raised just accept. Move on.
Yeah, and I think we all kind of were just like, let's just get to the trilogy, make it happen. But I don't think like if he loses, I don't think we're gonna see like excuses or anything like that. I think he's gonna say,
He had a list last time though.
yeah, and maybe they were justified. We'll find out. Maybe they weren't. I know for a fact.
No, he better walk in there with a towel
I was
like
gonna say,
Mike Tyson.
I guarantee you this: his team is going to watch every single thing that happens intently.
Can you have two sets of eyes in there?
Yep.
They're gonna have somebody that has X-ray vision in there looking at water, hand wraps, everything,
Oh
gloves.
yeah, Malik ain't having it.
Oh, there.
Shout out to
And Chris ain't having it.
Nah, Chris is not having it. He ain't not playing no games. Shout out to the California Athletic State Commission. My dad's fighters fought out there. What was that? About 2 weeks ago now, and I wrapped their hands. And before I wrapped each one of their hands, the refs the commission were smelling the pads that I was making for the guy. Okay, so just so y'all know, we take gauze and we wrap it around our hands to make a thick pad. When y'all see the pad, that's what that is. It's gauze.
Unless you're Margarita, then it was a cast.
And he started telling me stories about how fighters from Mexico would come out there, and he said, "Man, we had to start really policing these guys, smelling the gauze and smelling the pads because they were reusing pads from other fights and all this and that." And
imagine having to smell a pad that had been used in another fight. Ooh.
And for this to be as low level as this was, even though it was FS1, for them to still be attentive and things like that was pretty tight. So I'm expecting, or not expecting, but again, I mean, like we've talked about this before, like these other commissions have to step up. We talked about possibly having a referee like outside to kind of talk to the other referee during fight.
Yeah.
Like we got to work together. Why do we continue to work against one another in the sport of boxing?
Just because it's tradition of it. And that's how it's
completely
set.
hurts the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So somebody start smelling some gauze out here
Already.
At Nevada State Commission and make this thing happen the way it's supposed to happen. We don't need any mistakes
wanna
in
smell
this
the
I
trilogy.
vote Carson.
No, pass.
Come smell-
I do
he'd be
not
the
want to
gauze
smell the
smeller.
gauze.
Yeah, I was
Imagine
like,
being the gauze smeller. They're like, hey.
one side of me was like really impressed. The other side with me was like damn, man, you really put your life on the line.
In baseball, they go to the bullpen. They're like, hey, bring him in. And the guy's like, all right, where's the gauze? I'm ready to smell it. But I think this week is gonna be fun because, like I mentioned earlier, I think the hype is gonna ramp up as we go, and it's gonna be a big fight week.
Hey, I hate to say it, I think my man next to me pulled a little buzz off of this fight this week because everybody I was talking to around Vegas kept asking me, can you give me tickets to the Porter Crawford fight? And you drive around Vegas, I ain't see a lot of Wilder Fury. I'm gonna be honest.
They promoted a lot on the NFL games. I know you're not a big NFL guy, but they did well to promote a lot of.
I'm not standing with Cap or nothing.
Okay. That was
dealing with him though, right?
Yeah,
they're doing a press conference for myself and Terence Crawford day of the fight.
Oh, the Wilder fight?
Day of the Wilder fight, Wilder Fury.
What?
In the morning?
MGM, I believe. Yeah.
Can we go?
Like you guys did for Spence before Pacquiao.
Carson, you going? We going, Carson? Me and Carson will be there signing autographs.
They'll be there.
What's the outfit gonna be? You don't have to say specifics. Is it gonna be something where is it out there?
It wasn't. It wasn't. But now
It's way out there.
I might do something.
I like the gold.
I might do something
I
stupid.
think the gold was working.
Yeah, I might do something stupid.
The gold worked pretty good against Spence and Danny. You might want to keep that
Worked
gold.
better against Danny.
Something like we were talking about not too long ago that Eubank Senior had was Fortin.
Oh man! Oh, you rocking that?
I'm thinking about it. We shall
If you
see.
do this
Eubank
one day,
Senior.
these colors together, ooh, boy, they be hating on you.
Wedding. I did this for my wedding.
Oh, it wasn't at your wedding.
I like that. Oh yeah, I'm rocking with that.
Might do that.
You know,
It'll get cooked, but I'll rock.
I know it will, and I'm okay with that.
And that's what he wants. He loves it.
Okay,
He
well,
loves it.
how has,
Like Coach Wade said, he don't care what people think.
Hey, and I don't think. Do we have any other closing thoughts on Wilder before we?
I just
Wilder
think, one thing about Fury, man, I love his feint. Because we talked about Usyk and how important his feints were going to be against Joshua, and they were. That feint he has to shoot his jab is one of the best. I'm not gonna say he's on Ali or Larry Holmes' level, but that feint and the way he can pivot off of it and jab with it, Ali, Larry Holmes-esque.
Hey, he should have been a white boy that walked in Coming to America.
It's like
The Coming to America barbershop. We got this white boy in England named Tyson Fury.
Oh, right. Every time we bring up that, you got to bring up a Rocky Marciano.
Let's see. And before we go, these two prediction
for Fury and Wilder.
Yeah.
I'll take Fury.
decision.
Yeah, I think I'll take him by
Fury
decision.
Ant Dog. You mentioned earlier if you're picking with your heart, you want Wilder. But
Fury in 10.
Fury in 10.
Could see that as well.
sir.
I got Wilder in 3. I think.
And I can see that too. That's what's crazy.
Hart, Wilder in 3.
I think Wilder comes out there and shows some skills. I think he is a man
I
on
would
a
love to
mission.
see that. He is a man on a mission.
He's gonna be like demolition.
They going to fire you a run?
Nah,
Oh, damn.
They gonna do what?
fire me up because you know.
No, they going. Oh, no,
What did you say?
I got too hyped. My bad. They going on a 5-year run, just blowing through.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, shit. If he beats Tyson Fury, why not?
You get hyped and can't nobody understand you.
I thought he said they're gonna fire me up, and Ant knows I don't usually like.
You gonna fight you right?
Yeah, we watch fights. I don't.
They
Usually,
going on a 5-year run, just blowing through here.
I don't usually get too hyped, but if he knocks out Fury, probably. Why not? Like, who else at that point? Who else steps to him?
Damn, there's nobody else to fight though.
Nah,
Usyk would be fun because it'd just be fun because Usyk goes forward and he'll be able to land on Deontay when he wants to, but at any moment, that's it.
Yeah,
So
Usyk will be a for the fight.
We already know he ain't gonna give us a prediction.
I already said Wilder in 3. You're not gonna do it. You're working.
Yeah, I'm working.
Hey, you got a number back there? Just throw a round out.
Hey, if I'm wrong,
Okay.
can we delete this next week? If I'm wrong, can we just?
Yeah, just exit.
No?
No,
Okay.
because I already tried to give you a lob on the Usyk prediction. You pissed it away.
Hey, asshole. He told him, hey, don't come over here talking about I want Shawn, I don't want Shawn. They lit him up on the comments. They lit him up.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they lit you
No,
up.
I got a lot of love.
Like,
Lot
they
of
lit you
love.
up too.
Yeah, I only looked at the. Did I?
Do you know?
Oh, you got the podcast.
Are you able to disclose the crew working this week? Because it is fun when it's
Yeah.
Fox and ESPN. Because you get a nice mix of some good
Hey,
personalities.
you, Tim,
It's
and
smaller.
Trey is the
It's-
dream team.
It's smaller than it was before.
They need to let you, Tim, and
I
Trey.
believe it's myself, Kate, and Joe at the desk in
Tessitore.
this Joe Tessitore. Smaller than it was before. I believe at ringside it's only gonna be Dre BK, Brian Kenny, and I believe Joe Goosen. I believe that's it.
Damn, they iced Tim out?
Yeah. And
What's Tim do?
I hated seeing that.
Hate to see it.
Damn, because he was going to go nuts no matter what was going to happen. He was going to say something.
No, because Max Kellerman's not there.
Yeah, true. No, I don't think Tim probably did something. I think he just...
I just know that the cast is smaller.
Everything. Yeah.
And I think maybe they said, hey, we need the best 3 from ESPN, the best 3 from Fox, and that's all.
Yeah.
So.
I'm coming up to you after the fight, Shawn.
Huh?
You want the best 3?
Well, I'm top 2.
I ain't 2. I ain't 2.
She's the best
of anyone
listed,
Kate.
by the way.
Kate holds her own.
Kate gets to work with my favorite soccer player of all time, so I'm a little jealous.
Okay, you lost me now.
A little bit.
Lost me now.
She's the best. She's the best of anyone listed.
What's his name?
Thierry Henry.
Ronaldinho?
Nah, Thierry Henry. Ronaldinho is a great name drop. I certainly appreciated it, but no, I think it'll.
Am I late on that one?
No, you're good. It'll be a fun broadcast.
I got some rounds in with Caleb this week.
Did you?
Oh. I didn't know if you were going to share that.
So that was going to be my pivot. Was going to be how has training been?
Don't I look ready, y'all?
Whoa!
He's 195. I'll get down there.
Hey, I was about to touch him, and I was like, pause myself. Even thinking about that.
Tim, we did an interview, and Tim Bradley was like, yo, how much you weighing, champ? I said, man, don't ask me about my weight. Just know this. I'm exactly where I need to be at the moment. You know what I mean? But everything is going great. I was able to get some rounds in with Caleb on Tuesday. And that was really good work. We're considering trying to work with one another.
That actually works.
A week.
If you think about it.
You need somebody to replicate Canelo's power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shawn Porter is the first guy that comes to mind.
Physique,
absolutely.
Height.
Absolutely. I'm a force, baby.
With movement.
I'm a force,
when
baby.
you talk about holding back and not knocking people out, that's all Shawn's been doing in these unanimous decisions, by the way.
Yeah, waiting.
I'm being serious.
He could have stopped Formella in the first round, but he wanted to get the rounds in. He wanted
I couldn't
to work
believe.
out.
Hey, I went back and watched that fight. I couldn't believe that dude took all that punishment.
Yeah, he took some
blows.
But honestly,
stylistically, I understand.
They both work for each other. You guys both work for each other.
Big time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting now. So camp's going well.
He looks good. He's excited. He's buzzed up, and
you been watching our show?
He'll be ready.
How's that jab?
Guess I'll find out.
How's that jab, Shawn?
Jab is nice. Jab is nice.
Fast hands.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
Is he? Would you say he's pretty definitely faster than normal for 168? Like he got speed almost like a welterweight.
Yeah. He's very fast.
Undercover cop right here.
Right. He's very fast. I don't know how many people out there remember Darrell, but Andre Darrell was
still around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you do him like that?
Because a lot of people don't. I don't think
when he was at his.
The people watching this show right now are probably they've been like heavy in boxing for the last 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, and he
was like HBO boxing. What was that?
He hasn't been on that.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on that scene in a minute. However,
prime
he did.
Andre Darrell.
He fought on Fox a month ago now, maybe about a month ago, and he did well.
But your point was?
My point was that this kid who a lot of people are counting out, don't know much about, and so on and so forth, he has elite talent. He has elite speed. And I think that those are really the two biggest weapons you need against somebody as Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. So,
because we've seen, and we're not going to preview that fight every week, I promise, but we'll mention it. Especially Zaitel's building it up. He's like, so you're pretty much saying Caleb is Pernell Whitaker?
Yeah. Or would you say
defensively,
more
or is he more,
Mayweather?
more Willie Pep or Floyd Mayweather? But
let's get a movie made about him.
I saw that. Yeah. With Caleb, I think it's gonna be interesting because you have nobody. We talk about stopping power, like nobody's able to stop. But nobody's hurt Canelo. Mm-hmm. With the guys that he's had close fights with, nobody's hurt him.
Never.
Even Triple G.
Never.
Triple G, that dude had cement hands for a while, not Margarito style. He had just strong hands. And so I don't know if it gets you respect, of course. If you don't fear anything coming back, you can just walk forward and you're not worried about it. But I just don't know if that power is as crucial as
they say it's the punch you don't see coming, and he was able to see everything Golovkin had, roll with some of them because Mayweather hurt him. The last time I really remember Canelo being buzzed, Floyd got him with an uppercut. It was about the 7th or 8th round. Floyd, he didn't see it coming. It was beautiful. And it shot up and lifted his head up. And I remember Canelo nodded at Floyd and backed into the ropes.
It was like, ow.
Yeah,
Owie.
yeah. And Floyd, not the type to jump on you,
yeah.
but it was like, you are officially tamed for good now.
Yeah.
Now you know. Yeah.
Canelo was like, that shit hurt, so I'll be over here. Feel free
Remember
to
when you got tamed? Remember when you got tamed?
Never happened. It never happened.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, player. I just wanted to check
I'm gonna
your
hype
temperature.
Shawn up at times
I'm
during his
checking his
build up
temperature.
and still keep it regular.
Canelo's a man, though. For some reason, I'm getting comments that I hate Canelo or something. Canelo's a man.
What's it?
Yeah.
What's killing you?
Yeah, they think,
They think I love him. They think Carson hates him.
Oh, yeah. I don't hate him. I think he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. If that's hating somebody,
you gotta do better at hating, man.
They want you to say
all positive.
Canelo clips him
He's
in
the best.
in 30 seconds
and smokes him. Yeah.
Hey man, if y'all listen to the whole episode, I didn't say just first round.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about our boy before we get out of here. Lopez. What's up with him? He's gonna fight?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
terrible.
Like
just terrible.
Like no, the thing about it, what sucks is Shawn. It looks like he's in fight shape. Like he'd have cut weight. Look like he's ready to go this week.
The timeline of it was like, so they move it to the 4th because obviously Teo test positive when it was initially going to happen. And then they say, nah, we're going to move it off the 4th to the 16th. And Lopez is like, nah, not happening. And then he's like, yeah, it's happening. So they're like, okay, probably financially maybe incentivized him to change his mind. And then Triller's like, nope, not moving off the 4th. And then they moved it. Then Kambosos is like, nah, it's not moving. And now they're like, yeah, we're not promoting it. So good luck.
Boxing's gonna boxing.
Yeah.
It's just very boxing, the situation.
But this is worse than regular boxing because this is Triller that like is kind of winging it in my humblest of opinions with this fight. Like they're like, yeah, well, what do you think? October 4th sounds good? Let's do it. Then they're like, nah, October 4th, that's not a good
Monday
date.
Night Football that night?
Oh, maybe we should change it.
You know they have the schedules before the season, right?
Yeah, they're like, oh man.
You don't have to wait until October 4th.
Is boxing done with Triller?
Yeah.
They never felt easy come, easy go. They never felt long for this boxing world.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, I don't think
They made
crazy analogy the other day. I'm gonna use it now.
Okay.
I told somebody because you see a lot of people try to get into boxing, a lot of companies try to get into boxing, they just don't last. And I said, man, it's like the difference between the dude was driving a Suburban. It's like it's the difference between driving a Suburban and trying to jump in a semi and drive a semi. From the outside looking in, it looks the same. You think that because you can drive that, you should be able to drive that. You can't just get into boxing with money and think that you can do it the way that you've seen it been done for years and years with Top Rank, years and years now with Golden Boy, years and years now with PBC. It ain't that easy. And a lot of people think that they can just jump on up in that truck. Nation. Yeah, they think they could just jump up in that truck and make it move.
Bring the Brinks truck.
What do you do when you get to that first turn? What do you do when you get to that second turn? A lot of people don't know how to handle it.
Look at Dana White, who's run, obviously he's monopolized essentially his sport.
Are you allowed to say that? Don't say that. You allowed to say that?
I don't care.
It's not secret.
Okay.
All right.
No, I mean he is, but
Shawn parties with Dana on the weekends.
I guess, yeah, he's a character. But I feel like with that, he was supposedly getting into boxing, and then I for one, maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed his big boxing breakthrough. And so you see guys like that. I mean, Richard Schaefer, since he left the kind of Golden Boy era, he's been like 3 or 4 different things where they're like, hey, Richard Schaefer is going to lead this. I think Richard Schaefer's a great boxing mind too, but it's not easy to get into. They've kind of did that to an extent with Eddie Hearn and DAZN in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like he was going to make
certainly didn't work out the way they had.
This big splash. And he's even said in interviews, he's like, they weren't eager to work with me. And to be honest, I wouldn't be eager to work with them if they were coming into England. So that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, I don't think Triller would see much more of them.
Even Al Heyman, it's not like he just got into boxing and boom, PBC. He worked with Vernon Forrest first. And he does this thing with Floyd Mayweather. He really knew what the heck he was getting into before he made his big king move. So, Yeah, he didn't just come in fresh off of doing concerts with Eddie Murphy and here's money and I'm just going to sign fighters and
party all the time. Extremely underrated song.
As Floyd was going out, he rolled in PBC.
Yeah, no,
it was
we don't
smooth,
need to
boy.
hype it out.
Smooth, brother.
It was smooth, boy.
And he made Showtime the A side.
I would say to close on this and potentially close on the show, I feel bad for Tio because he had such a big win and now it's like,
hey,
my dad and I were talking about that a couple days ago.
Talking about not having momentum. It's like
and a guy who could be a great fighter.
My dad actually said the same thing you said. He said, "I feel bad for Lopez."
I do.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him.
Loma Tio in December.
He says he's never fighting him again.
I wouldn't want to either after how he looked last time, and I've been out of the ring for a year. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight him with Rust. And I need one. I need Kambosos.
Hey, don't get close. Don't get close to
Lomachenko. Lomachenko in one now. Yeah, no.
I'm not saying he wouldn't win.
Of course,
but
no, I know what you're saying.
I would want Kambosos.
Yeah,
first.
I feel bad just because he and even we talk about outside the ring is a factor, but he is a dynamite kid. Like Tio he's incredibly engaging to talk to. He's a very fan-friendly fighting style. So like huge win, marketable, like such a great, like promising fighter. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're going to be on the shelf for a while.
Athletic, reflexes, power, got everything.
He's dealing with the BS side of boxing. Shawn knows.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of young fighters have to deal with this. Do we also talk about, and I promise this is it, Boots Ennis is fighting coming up.
Thomas Delorme.
Who's
being in camp with Coach Wade.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have that.
I don't think he wants you to say that. I don't know I don't know what the connection is exactly. But yes, Wade was contacted by Delorme and his people. But I don't know how close he's working with Delorme prior to his fight with
this will all probably be edited out, but
it's possible. It's possible.
But no edits. No. And then Jamal James also fights on that card.
Who's he got?
Bakhtiev.
Don't do that to my boy Jamal.
He's got Stanionis, right?
No, Stanionis fights him. He's fighting.
So Stanionis just beat Delorme.
Yeah.
Okay.
So James fights. Oh, they don't have it.
Man, Carson.
They set us up.
They set my boy up, Jamal James about to get clipped by Ennis next in the beginning of 2022.
You think they're gonna have them fight on the same card and then
they set him up to get clipped.
I know
he gonna replay this a million times.
Where that's at.
I like Jamal James too. He's earned it the hard way, and that's why you feel bad for him because you're like you've earned that Keith Thurman. Yeah. Instead of being fed to this killer.
So James has Butaev on the main event.
He wanted Shawn too.
Jamal James did?
Yeah, he was calling Shawn out all crazy on this.
Where is this one? Where is this one at?
Well, he was on his IG talking crazy. Hit me up in the DM, everything. Okay. Called you
stop it.
Okay. And that's out here too, by the way.
So excited to see Jaron Ennis, man.
On the 30th.
I can't wait to see him up close.
Damn, we got a lot of fights.
October?
Yeah, October 30th. Coming up. That is that's a good, nice little twofer for welterweight fights. I think James and Boots both win, but
it's a good measuring stick fight.
You know how I feel about Boots.
Yeah.
Best young fighter in the world.
Yep.
Number one.
Is he Cuban or something?
No.
Okay.
He is from Philly. Shout out the beans. But that
he could probably salsa. East Coast.
He's got good footwork, good athlete. I think he can make it happen.
Not Latino, but
you ready to get out here?
Yeah, we 670 something. We
670. My gosh,
67 something. We over an hour.
It's also hot as hell in here, per usual.
Start the music.
It started.
Y'all have a blessed day. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG with 2 T's.
This is the PorterWay podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Mailk. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
PorterWay podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendall.
Carson A. Mailk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the PorterWay.